Today, in the media conference with Lal Goyal, which is brought to you by V4 News, Karu News, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News Gaon se, Samvad Sarokar News, Bharat Post News, Gyan, and Organ Donation India Foundation. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic, and today's topic is not only current but very, very relevant and very important. But before I will go on my main topic, I would like to inform you that today world is observing World Pneumonia Day. World Pneumonia Day, held annually on November 12, was established to raise awareness of pneumonia and the importance of prevention and treatment of the disease. The World Health Organization, WHO, identifies pneumonia as the single largest cause of death in children worldwide. Every year, it kills an estimated 1.4 million children under the age of 5 years. According to UNICEF, a child dies of pneumonia every 39 seconds, which translates to roughly 8 lakh children every year. This despite pneumonia being preventable and treatable. Media conference with Lal Goyal hopes that by observing World Pneumonia Day, we can raise awareness so that many children can be saved. Now, coming to our main topic, and the topic is cervical cancer prevention and cure. Cervical cancer is a cancer arising from the cervix. It is due to the abnormal growth of cells that have the ability to invade or spread to other parts of the body. Early on, typically no symptoms are seen. Later, symptoms may include abnormal vaginal bleeding, pelvic pain, or pain during sexual intercourse. While bleeding after sex may not be serious, it may also indicate the presence of cervical cancer. India has a population of 483.5 million women ages 15 years and older who are at risk of developing cervical cancer. Current estimates indicate that every year 1,23,907 women are diagnosed with cervical cancer and 77,348 die from the disease. Cervical cancer ranks as the second most frequent cancer among women in India and the second most frequent cancer among women between 15 and 44 years of age. About 5% of women in the general population are estimated to harbor cervical cancer. And to discuss this very, very important, very relevant topic, and that is cervical cancer prevention and cure, we have a very elite, knowledgeable, those who are experts in the field, panelists are with us. And I would like to invite and introduce my first panelist guest, and he is Dr. Puneet Gupta. Dr. Puneet Gupta is MBBS, MD, DNB, DM. Dr. Gupta is the Director of Oncology and Director of DNB Program, Metro Hospital and Cancer Institute, MHCI, Delhi. He is the Medical Superintendent, MHCI, Delhi. He is the world's first author for book titled Applied Spiritual Biology. He did MBBS from Snowdon Hospital, Shimla in 1987, MD in Radiation Oncology from SCBMC, Cuttack, Odisha in 1994, DNB in Radiation Oncology from TMH, Mumbai in 1994, DM in Medical Oncology from Adyar Cancer Institute, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India in 1996. He has been extensively trained at MD Anderson Cancer Center, USA, Vienna University Hospital, Austria, SGH, Singapore. Before joining Metro Hospital, he was Senior Consultant and Coordinator Medical Oncology at Apollo Indraprastha Hospital, Delhi. He was instrumental in implementing first statewide community cancer screening program in India at the state of Meghalaya with ROCO Cancer and UK-based NGO and state government. He presented technique of liquid PAP at Hertfordshire University, England through ROCO Cancer. He has also done extensive community oncology work through ROCO Cancer in Meghalaya state, doing population screening for breast and cervix cancer covering whole state. He initiated cancer cervix screening at Madagascar through an NGO called Akbar Ali Foundation, Madagascar. He is first in India to deliver the trans-arterial chemotherapy by continuous method using special dedicated arterial electronic pump. He used for the first time in India latest targeted drug therapy for head and neck cancer, T-cell malignancy, and AML. He is the first in India to harvest stem cells. He was the chief for India's first medical oncology DNB teaching program in the country. He is the pioneer in starting the India's very first diploma in nursing oncology, diploma in psychology oncology at MET University. He is a member of various national and international oncology bodies. He is medical scientific advisor to several organizations, including UK-based NGO, ROCO, Cancer, etc. He presented, please mute yourself, Dr. Mane, please audio mute. Dr. Mane, it's a live telecast. Please audio mute, Dr. Mane. We are on live telecast already. He is a medical scientific advisor to several organizations, including UK-based NGO, ROCO, Cancer, etc. He presented latest original work at International Cancer Congress, Hong Kong in 2011 and published it. Dr. Mane, I request you to please audio mute yourself. Dr. Mane, can you hear me? Dr. Mane, can you hear me? Please audio mute yourself.
Yeah. Audible.
Please mute yourself. Audio mute yourself, please.
Yeah. Immediately I'm doing.
We are getting lots of disturbance. Thank you very much. Dr. Gupta presented latest original work at International Cancer Congress, Hong Kong in 2011 and published latest original work in March 2013. He got several awards, including Times of India Award 2007, Business Sphere Award in January 2007, Arc of Excellency Award 2008, Indira Gandhi Shiromani Award 2006, prestigious Vijayashree 2005 Award for meritorious services, outstanding performance, and remarkable role in cancer care. Welcome, Dr. Puneet Gupta, on our show. Dr. Gupta, you being a pioneer in many of the fields as far as the cancer is concerned. And today we are talking about the cervical cancer prevention and cure, and the data are very, very alarming, and especially when we are talking about the 50% of our population which belongs to the women of the country. We would like to know your views on cervical cancer prevention and cure. Dr. Puneet Gupta, please.
Thank you, Mr. Lal, and I welcome all the guests and also the audience. The very important topic Mr. Lal has brought, because it has a serious dimension in a country like India with a large population and large female population, where every 1 minute, the 8 females, we lose them and they die of cancer cervix. I will put it boldly and not chewing my words that it is a very shameful thing that in being the modern times and being all the science behind it, you must be knowing that the person who discovered HPV, the ladies and gentlemen, they were three, all of them are a team of 3 guys. They discovered HPV as the cause of, the viral etiology of cancer cervix. And in fact, we were lucky enough to get a vaccination against it. And not only of one type, but there were 2 types of vaccination. And now the third one has come up. And now even the Indian one has come up. So most important is that we must recognize that this team, that one of the Nobel Prize, it went to the, so much so that for discovering the HPV virus, we got the Nobel Prize. तो सबसे जो ज़्यादा मैं ये बताऊंगा कि खतरनाक कैंसर्स में से जिसको मैं ये बोलूंगा कि उसका सारा श्रेय जो है वो हमारी मैनेजमेंट को, हमारी ह्यूमन पॉलिसीज को, हमारे वर्कअप को जाता है, क्योंकि ये हाईली प्रिवेंटेबल कैंसर है. और अगर आप देखेंगे सबसे ज्यादा कैंसर्स में से कि जिसको आप 0 डाउन कर सकते हैं और जिसमें साइंटिफिक इनपुट बहुत ही स्ट्रांग है. अगर हम कहते हैं किसी डॉक्टर को, इवन मैं तो कहता हूं कि मेडिकल प्रोफेशन में भी ईच एंड एवरी डॉक्टर, द फर्स्ट चैप्टर इन द एमबीबीएस और विल से फर्स्ट चैप्टर इन एमडी or in DM should be about the how we can prevent any disease on earth. Then the best example is the cancer cervix. Now, I will like to, for the sake of the audience, common audience, I first like the nomenclature should not be confusing, because sometimes cervical cancer people think when they Google it, cervical cancer, because in America they call it the head and neck cancer is also known as cervical cancer. So as an expert, I will like to use the term what we call as the cervix uteri cancer, or simply the cervix cancer, or more simply the cancer of the mother's womb. So, and technically it is the mouth of the mother's womb, because the other part of the womb, the cancer is different and its behavior is different. And we are not discussing the screening of cancer of the endometrium proper, but only for the mouth of the uterus. So mouth of the uterus has a very, very special biology. And I will like to tell you that the science has made a biggest invention in science again comes to the cancer cervix, because you can find cancer in stage 0. So we always say in media there is stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, and everybody is afraid, oh, it will go to stage 4. But you know the beauty of science, the most beautiful thing the science has done is the finding cancer cervix in stage 0. So what is technically stage 0? It is not a term I have made. It is a scientific term, and stage 0 means it is a pre-cancer stage. And the beauty of the pre-cancer stage is that we can save a lot of human lives, and especially I will say more precise Indian lives, by detecting cancer cervix in stage 0. Means, and the another lucky thing which our audience must understand, and our doctors also must understand, or nurses and media person must understand, that cervix gives, pre-cancer gives us a time of up to 10 years to detect it and pin it down and cure it. So there are countries like, which have very good cancer screening program. They screen each and every female of their country. Let's say Holland, that's the, in Holland, they do so much good mapping that all the homes are mapped, how many females are striving there. They are given a tag and they are made sure, and they are made phone calls. Please visit us. Please get your pap smear. If they don't get even pap, we, the government says that you will not get a, something like in Canada, they say if you will not get the HPV vaccination, then you will not get entry into the school, or you will not get a job, or you will not, so it's a kind of a, you can add the conditions apply concept also. So but for that, government has to take responsibility. If you see countries like, there are 200 countries on the globe, and we see that out of them 100 plus countries, they have made the cancer cervix uteri vaccination free of cost. And it is a costly business, because once you apply, get the 3 vaccinations, and one vaccination cost around 3,000 rupees. So it is a big amount of money, for average Indian female. And even I will say that you think 3 times or 4 times everybody, that before spending 3,000 rupees, oh, why I should get a shot? Oh, it is not in my family. It doesn't happen. There is no cancer in my family. And my it, I may tell you, there is no family history is important. It will, majority of the time, cancer cervix will come to a family where there was no cancer. Dr. Lal, shall I talk in Hindi also? You feel?
या मिक्स कर सकते हैं आप. यस.
अच्छा, तो मैं क्योंकि अपने हिंदी वाली ऑडियंस के लिए भी बताना चाहूंगा कि अभी तक जो मैंने बताया है, कैंसर सर्विक्स एक बहुत ही हाईली प्रिवेंटेबल कैंसर है, बहुत ही, इसको मैं बोलता हूँ गुड न्यूज वाला कैंसर है, जिसको हम अपनी गलतियों से बहुत सीरियस एक डायमेंशन दे रखी है. और बड़ी शर्म की बात है, मैं ये बोलूंगा कि भारत में ये 1 मिनट में जो 8 औरतों को खत्म कर देता है. और इसको जो हम प्रिवेंशन के लिए, हमारे पास वायरस की भी आइडेंटिटी है, हमारे पास एंटीवायरस वैक्सीनेशन भी है. जैसे हमने कोविड के लिए वैक्सीनेशन बना ली थी, वैसे ही कैंसर सर्विक्स के लिए भी वैक्सीनेशन है. और मैं इसको सिंपली आपको बोलूंगा कि ऑलमोस्ट ये 100% प्रिवेंटेबल कैंसर है. कई लोग बोलेंगे नहीं जी, इट इज 92%, डॉक्टर पुनीत इज टेलिंग रॉन्ग. आई विल से नो, फॉर पब्लिक यू मस्ट अंडरस्टैंड it is almost 100% preventable, because if you use that good lifestyle, and not only cancer vaccination, you use the cancer sex safe practices. So if you use cancer safe sex practices where we avoid the exposure to HPV, get early vaccination, तो हम अगर अपने बच्चों को वैक्सीनेशन जल्दी स्टार्ट कर देंगे, कैंसर स्क्रीनिंग प्रॉपर तरीके से करेंगे, और हम जो अपना सेक्सुअल लाइफस्टाइल को भी उसको HPV एक्सपोजर नहीं होने देंगे, जल्दी चेकअप कराएंगे, रिपीटेड चेकअप्स कराएंगे, और सबसे अच्छी बड़ी बात है कि जो साइंस की हर एक डेवलपमेंट का फायदा उठाएंगे। मैं आपको सिंपल एक चीज बताना चाहूंगा कि ये हमारे बच्चों को, जिन्होंने भी इवन बायोलॉजी नहीं पढ़ी है, कुछ नहीं पढ़ा है, और वो एक अच्छा लाइफस्टाइल चाहते हैं, इट इज ए लाइफस्टाइल डिजीज, तो हम इसको अपने बच्चों को, सिंपली ये नहीं है कि आपने बायोलॉजी पढ़ी है तभी आप इसको पढ़िए, ये हर एक स्कूल में हर एक छात्र को, हर एक सब्जेक्ट को, इवन जो बच्चे, मैं ये बोलता हूँ कि चाहे वो बीए कर रहे हैं, एमए कर रहे हैं, लॉ कर रहे हैं, सबको पढ़ाना चाहिए, बिकॉज इट्स ए लीगल इशू ऑल्सो, कि अगर आप एक हाईली प्रिवेंटेबल डिजीज को लीगली अपनी कंट्री से उखाड़ नहीं पाते हो, तो इट्स ए लीगल इशू, बिकॉज वो अपने आपके पॉपुलेशन का राइट है। हम इसको, हमारी पॉपुलेशन इस चीज को समझना चाहिए। जिस प्रकार से मैं ये बोलूंगा कि कुछ प्राचीन प्रथाओं में कुछ देश ऐसे भी थे कि जिनके नागरिकों ने अपने राजा के अगेंस्ट रिवोल्ट कर दी, इन द सेंस कि उन्होंने बोला कि नहीं, अगर राजा नहीं लड़ता है तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि हम दूसरे के गुलाम हो जाएंगे, उन्होंने अपने आप दूसरे राजाओं से लड़ाइयां लड़ी। तो ऐसी स्थिति मुझे यहाँ दिखती है। हमें, हमारी जनता को बड़ा जागरूक होना चाहिए, क्योंकि इसमें साइंस के इतने फायदे हैं, इतने फायदे हैं। हमको अपने आप एक कमेटी बना के पॉपुलेशन की, गवर्नमेंट को अपने आप बोलना चाहिए कि हमको ये वैक्सीनेशन फ्री चाहिए, हमको कोई स्पेशल फंड चाहिए, हमारे को इसके लिए वैक्सीनेशन, जैसे कोविड के लिए फ्री वैक्सीनेशन दी गई, वैसे ही 1 मिनट में जो 8 औरतें मर रही हैं वो बिल्कुल ना मरे, अगर हम इनको, सिंपल है कि ये वैक्सीनेशन जो है ये उपलब्ध करवा दे।
हाँ, हेलो, प्लीज गो अहेड।
हाँ, तो मैं आगे, आई एम ऑडिबल ना?
यस यस यस, यू आर ऑडिबल।
तो अब इसमें सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज जो मैं अब आपको बताना चाहूंगा कि कैंसर स्क्रीनिंग की एक और सबसे अच्छी डेवलपमेंट हुई है। वो एक और साइंटिफिक डेवलपमेंट क्या है कि हमारे पास पहले सिर्फ टेस्टिंग के 3 मेथड होते हैं। एक होता है कि हम सिर्फ वायरस को टेस्ट करें, एक होता है कि हम सिर्फ जो है सर्विक्स के कैंसर को टेस्ट करें, और एक है हमारे पास जो हम कैंसर को भी टेस्ट कर सकते हैं और वायरस को भी टेस्ट कर सकते हैं। तो ये जो मेथड है, थोड़ा सा जो डबल, जिसको हम बोलते हैं कि हम वायरस की भी टेस्टिंग कर सकते हैं, कोई वायरस की इन्फेक्शन तो नहीं है, हालांकि टिश्यू नॉर्मल दिख रही है लेकिन वहां वायरस आया है, तो उसका प्रोटोकॉल मैनेजमेंट का अलग हो जाएगा। और एक दूसरा पेशेंट है कि जहां वायरस भी आ गया है और सर्विक्स में भी गड़बड़ आ गई है, मतलब कि प्री कैंसर स्टेज आ गई है। तो प्री कैंसर स्टेज क्या होता है कि हमारी एक बेसमेंट मेम्ब्रेन होती है, अगर वो कैंसर सेल जो है सबसे पहले ऊपर पनपता है, पर अब ये फ्रैंक कैंसर नहीं बना, लेकिन कैंसर सेल बन गया। अगर मैं जस्ट थोड़ी सी इंट्रोडक्शन देना चाहूंगा कि हमारे को कैंसर के बारे में ये बड़ा जानना समझना है कि हमारे शरीर में तकरीबन 100 प्रकार की कोशिकाएं होती है, सेल जिसको हम सेल बोलते हैं। 100 प्रकार के सेल होते हैं। जैसे एक दीवार है, मान लीजिए दीवार में ईंटें लगी हुई हैं, तो उसमें सोच लीजिए एक दीवार है जिसमें 100 प्रकार की ईंटें लगी हुई है, कोई बड़ी है, कोई छोटी है, कोई मोटी है, कोई लंबी है, कोई चौड़ी है, कोई पतली है। तो ऐसे हमारा कोई आंख का सेल है, कोई ब्रेन का सेल है, कोई माउथ का सेल है, कोई हमारे हेयर का सेल है। तो हमारे जितने भी ये टिश्यूज है, 100 प्रकार की, किडनी का है, लीवर का है, स्प्लीन का है। इसलिए हमारे शरीर में 100 प्रकार के कैंसर पनपते हैं, क्योंकि हमारे अंदर 100 प्रकार की कोशिकाएं हैं। और वो 100 प्रकार के कैंसर सब हम उनको स्टेज 1, 2, 3, 4 करते थे पहले, लेकिन अब साइंस ने हमारे को बता दिया कि नहीं, पहले एक प्री कैंसर स्टेज होती है। और सबसे अच्छी बात यह है कि चाहे वो इंडिया का कैंसर हेड एंड नेक है, या सर्विक्स कैंसर है, या लंग कैंसर है, या इसोफेगस कैंसर है, कोलोन कैंसर है, प्रोस्टेट कैंसर है, एंड इवन ब्लड कैंसर भी है, जो सबसे कॉमन ब्लड कैंसर भी है, वो सब के सब जो है एक प्री कैंसर स्टेज से उठ के जो वो आते हैं, या जिसको हम प्री हाइपरप्लेजिया, डिस्प्लेजिया, एनाप्लेजिया, मेटाप्लेजिया, अलग अलग टर्म यूज करते हैं। मैं उस डिटेल में नहीं जाऊंगा इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे, बट हमको ये समझना है कि इट टेक 10 ईयर्स। अगर 5 to 10 ईयर्स में हम अपने बच्चों के, हम अपने आप के हेल्थ चेकअप करवा लेते हैं, तो चाहे उसके लिए हम एचपीवी वायरस टेस्ट कराएं, या हम उसके साथ सिर्फ टिश्यू टेस्ट कराएं, या दोनों करवाएं। अब इसमें सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट जो मैं बताना चाहूंगा कि जो ये टेस्ट किए जाते हैं पॉपुलेशन बेस्ड अलग होते हैं और पर्सनल लेवल पे अलग होते हैं। जैसे मान लीजिए एक लेडी आती है मेरे क्लिनिक में, हम बोलते हैं कि आप, वो 60 ईयर्स की है, उसका टेस्ट करना है कि नहीं करना है। अगर वो हमको लगता है हाई रिस्क पेशेंट है, एचपीवी एक्सपोज्ड है, मल्टीपल पार्टनर्स हैं, तो उसका रिस्क ज्यादा है, तो हम उसको देख सकते हैं। लेकिन पॉपुलेशन बेस के ऊपर हम इतना खर्चा नहीं कर सकते कि हम 70 साल की लड़की, 80 साल की लेडीज का, 90 ईयर्स की लेडीज का ये कैंसर स्क्रीनिंग करें। तो हम पॉपुलेशन के लिए वी मस्ट अंडरस्टैंड पॉलिसीज आर डिफरेंट, गवर्नमेंट सिट्स, देयर आर कमिटीज, देयर आर इंटरनेशनल कमिटीज, नेशनल कमिटीज, वो हमको अपनी कमिटीज बना के प्रिवेंशन पे ये काम करने की अभी आवश्यकता है। हमारी कोई ऐसी कैंसर सर्विक्स नेशनल प्रिवेंशन जो है एक कमेटी बननी चाहिए जो सारी स्टेट्स में इस रूल को इम्प्लीमेंट करे और ये देखे कि जो डिफिकल्ट टेरेन्स है उसके लिए पॉलिसी हमको अलग बनानी पड़ेगी, जो एजुकेटेड टेरेन्स है उसके लिए पॉलिसी अलग, इजीली अवेलेबल टेरेन्स है। अब जैसे मान लीजिए मोटे तौर पे हम 20 साल से तकरीबन 70 साल तक स्क्रीनिंग करते हैं, 70 साल के बाद नहीं करते हैं पॉपुलेशन स्क्रीनिंग, और 20 साल से पहले नहीं करते हैं, तो पॉपुलेशन के रूल अलग हो जाता है। और हम कुछ जो स्क्रीनिंग है 3-3 साल पे करते हैं और उसके बाद हम 5-5 साल पे करते हैं। और जो पुअर कंट्रीज है हम वहां कहते हैं 5-5 साल से ही चाहे शुरू कीजिए, आप एवरी ईयर करने की जरूरत नहीं है, एवरी 3 ईयर करने की जरूरत नहीं है, आप एवरी 5 ईयर कीजिए। और जो बहुत ही पुअर है इवन हम कहते हैं एवरी 5 ईयर भी मत कीजिए, आप उसकी लाइफ टाइम एक बार कर लीजिए। 20 साल से 70 साल में किसी को भी लाइफ टाइम में एक बार स्क्रीनिंग कर लीजिए जहां उसको लगता है। और खासकर जो हमारे हाई रिस्क पेशेंट है, सॉरी पर्सन है, पब्लिक है, जैसे मान लो जो सेक्सुअल वर्कर्स हैं या हमारे मल्टीपल, जहां ऐसे हमारे कल्चर है जहां मल्टीपल पार्टनर्स आर अलाउड टू मैरी ईच अदर, वहां हमारे मल्टीपल स्पाउसेस जो है पार्टनर्स हैं, तो उसमें हमारे को एक्सपोजर ज्यादा रहता है या अर्ली एज ऑफ एक्सपोजर है। तो इन सब चीजों को देखते हुए अगर हमारे को ऐसा, और ये जरूरी नहीं है कि सिर्फ इन्हीं के लिए है, सबके लिए है। ओनली थिंग फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ जो टेस्ट है, मेरा कहने का मतलब ये, इसको काइंडली ऐसे मत ले लीजिए कि ये सोशल टैबू है कि नहीं नहीं यू आर एक्टिव सेक्सुअली देन ओनली यू विल गेट अ एचपीवी वैक्सीनेशन और यू गेट अ एचपीवी टेस्टिंग, कि जी आप क्यों करवा रही हो, ओह अच्छा आप सेक्सुअली एक्टिव होंगे इसलिए आपको जरूरत है, मुझे जरूरत नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है कुछ नहीं। तो चाहे आप सेक्सुअली एक्टिव है नहीं है, आपका पार्टनर्स मल्टीपल है चाहे नहीं है, फ्रीक्वेंसी आपके लिए अलग हो जाएगी। टेस्ट सबको जरूरत है, जो बहुत सेक्सुअली एक्टिव है मल्टीपल पार्टनर्स हैं तो उसको हो सकता है हम बोले कि नहीं आप साल में 3 साल में एक बार कराइए टेस्ट, और जो सेक्सुअली एक्टिव नहीं है मल्टीपल पार्टनर्स नहीं है, हो सकता है हम बोले लाइफ टाइम में भी एक बार करा लें चलेगा, या 5 इयर्स में एक बार करवा लें। तो बेस्ड ऑन योर रिलीजन, योर कंट्री, योर पॉलिसी, योर सोशल मिलियू, योर असेसिबिलिटी, वेदर योर और डिफिकल्ट टेरेन, मान लीजिए आप हिमालयज में है, यू बिल्ड अप अ कैंसर स्क्रीनिंग प्रोग्राम, तो आप बोलेंगे ओके वंस इन अ लाइफ टाइम भी लेडी करा लेती है, वी आर हैप्पी, यू कांट मेक इट एवरी 3 years, every 5 years. So based on all these factors we have to design, and my basic message is by this we can use the present science very very effectively. यही सिर्फ एक ऐसा कैंसर है कि जिसमें, और नॉट ओनली कैंसर सर्विस, इस वैक्सीनेशन से हेड एंड नेक कैंसर भी, जहां हमारा ओरल सेक्स कॉमन होता है वहां इवन हेड एंड नेक कैंसर या कैंसर ऑफ द एनल कैनाल, और वो भी वाले भी कैंसर्स भी जो हैं, वो जो एचपीवी वायरस रिलेटेड कैंसर होते हैं वो सब इस वैक्सीनेशन से कंट्रोल में आ जाते हैं। तो इट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि साइंस ने हमारे को वायरस भी बता दिया, वैक्सीनेशन भी बता दी, उसका साइंस ने हमारे को प्री कैंसर स्टेज 0 भी बता दिया, और इवन ये भी बता दिया कि हमारे को ये जो प्रिवेंटिव जो इसका लकीली जो मेजर्स हैं वो बहुत ही सक्सेसफुल है। जरूरी नहीं है कि देखिए प्रिवेंशन में, जैसे मान लीजिए प्रोस्टेट कैंसर है, हम उसकी प्रिवेंशन भी करते हैं लेकिन उसके रिजल्ट उसके बावजूद अच्छे नहीं है। ब्रेस्ट कैंसर है, उसमें भी हमारी प्रिवेंटिव स्ट्रेटेजी है, बिकॉज दिस इज नॉट द प्लेटफॉर्म टू डिस्कस दैट, बट मैं मोटा सा बताना चाहूंगा कि अनलकीली उनमें भी even after doing very good screening, allowed screening practices, even then we do not get very good preventive results, because उसमें ये नहीं है, जैसे मैं बोल्डली इसमें बोल सकता हूँ कि इट इज टचिंग ऑलमोस्ट 100%। कैंसर प्रोस्टेट में ये ट्रू नहीं है, ब्रेस्ट कैंसर में ये ट्रू नहीं है, लंग कैंसर में ये ट्रू नहीं है। तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि हमको समझना है कि बहुत ही अच्छा कैंसर है जिसको मैं बोलूंगा विच इज वेरी वेरी, आई विल से highly preventable and highly I will say it is a very good connect with our population to make them understand the modern science, the achievement of current science. It is something like that. If we had the modern science, the people made bombs out of it, and they make missiles, they make atomic bombs, they kind of destroy humanity. So we are very good in using those kind of protocols. But where the science has done so good for us, and we do not teach it to our public. We don't talk of it. We don't do any program. We are not making any committee. But if you make a nuclear committee, there is a national, international, there is,
Okay.
we are
Yes.
spending crores of rupees.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much, Dr. Puneet Gupta, for giving your detailed details about the cervical cancer. And you have, as per Dr. Gupta, it's a 100% prevention if taken in time, if it is detected in time. And he suggested that we must do the screening and give the vaccination so that no one will die. Unfortunately, so many ladies are dying every year, and especially I was told that the rural area there's a more frequency, and which is very, very unfortunate. Thank you very much. I will definitely come back to you with some question. Now I would like to move to my next panelist guest, and he is Dr. Swapnil Mane. Dr. Swapnil Mane is DNB, DGO, FCPS, MBBS from KEM Hospital, Mumbai. He is a gynec onco surgeon. He is the president of Dr. Mane Medical Foundation and Research Center, Sai Dham Cancer Hospital near Shirdi at Rahuri, Maharashtra. His organization have done 4,310 plus cancer surgeries free of cost for the underprivileged peoples of rural area, 345 plus cancer awareness and detection camps, 76,737 plus beneficiaries tested for cancer in rural project. Trust has 30 bedded Trust has 30 bedded cancer hospital, Sai Dham Hospital at Rahuri Primary Health Center, Sai Dham Clinic at Ashwi Village. Uh, Dr. Mane was honored with Indian Youth Social Award by IONX International University affiliated to United Nations. He is a member of United Nations Talent Pool. He was awarded Swami Vivekanand Rajya Puruskar. He was given Jeevan Gaurav Award. He was awarded Rashtriya Seva Gaurav Puruskar in 2017. He was facilitated by Bollywood actor Shah Rukh Khan for his selfless service to the society. Welcome, Dr. Swapnil Mane on our show. Dr. Mane, you have heard what Dr. Puneet Gupta has mentioned about how this cancer, what are the causes of this cancer, cervical cancer, and how this cancer can be prevented. Now, being a doctor who is dedicated, who has dedicated his life for the service of the rural area, and especially a very pious place called Sai Shirdi, which is a Sai Dham. You are doing lots of services there, doing so much free surgeries as well as the awareness programs. But we would like to know from you your views on cervical cancer prevention and cure. Dr. Swapnil Mane, please. Please unmute. Dr. Mane, please unmute.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lal Goyalji, for a wonderful opportunity and very nice discussion. Dr. Puneet Gupta ji enlightened on the various aspects of cervical cancer in Indian community, and Honorable Trustee of our foundation, Mrs. Archana Sharma, she is sitting here. So very great occasion for us, very auspicious occasion today. On the so very good talk has been arranged by Mr. Lal Goyalji on cervical cancer. As Puniji highlighted lots of things in cervical cancer. English or Hindi, Doctor? English is fine, na, Lalji?
Both, whatsoever you are comfortable.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So cervical cancer is growing menace in Indian rural population. When I was working in Tata Cancer Hospital and the KEM Hospital, I have seen the plight of the patient, the illiteracy, the unawareness about the cancer, and the poor economy of the patient, and lots of things that made the cancer as a dubious distinction of killer disease. So since 11 years, along with our trustees, we started this mission that healthcare should be affordable and accessible to all at the rural, remote population of the country where 70% population resides. We think that our trustees think that we started with the motto of the Cancer-Free India mission by giving the good treatment, by constructing the big hospitals by government people, government sector, private sector, corporate sector may not be sufficient to eliminate the cancer from the society. That's why we started this mission. So our team used to go to the villages and screen the patient for cancer. With your permission, I would like to show some slides. Is it okay to show the slide?
No, not possible.
No. Okay, good. So our team is to go to the villages and screen the patient for cancer free of the cost. Near about 88,000 people has been screened, and out of that, whatever patient get positive for the pap smear, we immediately test for cervical cancer, and further treatment is provided free of the cost. That is our policy since 11 years. And cervical cancer, as far as considered in rural areas, that has to be eliminated on such a basis that people should make aware. The knowledge, education should be given to the people about the cervical cancer. What is that cancer? Where it is originated? जो हम बोलते हैं गर्भ का कैंसर, गर्भथैली के मुख का कैंसर, तो कहाँ से होता है, क्या होता है, किस तरह से होता है, उसको क्या क्या करना चाहिए नहीं हो इसलिए, और आपको शादी के बाद क्या क्या टेस्टिंग करना चाहिए. और जैसे डॉक्टर पुनीत जी ने बताया कि cervical cancer, that is the only one cancer where that is only one type of cancer where that cancer or that this cancer can be 100% preventable. Okay, by various preventive measures like education, counseling, detection, and this is the only one cancer where it is vaccine preventable. तो अगर 3 डोसेस हम 9 साल से बच्ची को लेकर 26 साल के वुमेन्स को देते हैं, 0 to 6 3 doses, this is scheduled for the 3 doses, हम we can win over this cancer by giving the 3 doses of vaccination. So हर एक girl should be vaccinated at an earliest age so that maximum benefit can be awarded to her during her lifetime. Second thing, doctor, early marriages in rural areas should be prevented. So at the lesser ages, a woman or girl is not mature enough sexually, physically to cope up with the family burden, cope up with the pregnancy, cope up with the other responsibilities of the family. That's why the minimum age of marriage should be at least 20, 21, 22 should be there in rural area. Another thing, sir, the multiple pregnancies should be prevented in short span of time. That should be prevented. There should be adequate 2 to 3 years gap during the for the two childs in the family. Second thing, sir, immediately any white discharge, any pelvic pain, anything should be this message, or we should show it to the doctor first. Immediately at the local doctor, we should show this, and we should test it for the pap smear. We should test it for the ultrasound for any hidden or the incipient stage of the disease. We can catch it. As Dr. Puniji said, at the stage 0 of the cancer, if we catches the cervical cancer in stage 0, we can prevent it in 100% percentage. Okay, that's why stage 0 detection is very much important. That's why awareness should be created in the community to catch that disease in insufficient state. Not only for the cervical cancer, for other cancers also, same thing is true, that should be catched in the incipient state or the initiation or the starting phase, so that we can catch this killer disease and we can curb that disease. So that the 8 women deaths are occurring in India every minute. So it's a very alarming situation for the state. So prevention part should be focused. That is very important. It's a responsibility of the government authority, it's a responsibility of corporate sector, NGO sector to focus on the prevention part. That can be done by the awareness, education, and the pap smear testing. Second thing, HPV vaccination and community level, the people should avoid the multiple sexual partners. Hygiene of the private part is very necessary for the females, especially living in the rural areas, tribal population. And every sub-center, every primary health center, we should create awareness. Because unnecessary rush, unnecessary bad plight of the situation when cancer is detected in the late stages, that's why early stage detection is very important. Second thing, unnecessary consumption of medicine may not be mandated. The over-the-counter use of medicine is very common in India. खांसी है, जुकाम है, बॉडी एक है, वायरल फीवर है, काउंटर पे गए, दवाई ली और चालू करते. We are exposed to unnecessary exposure to the chemicals. Second thing, the addictions in the family. Machinery addiction, tobacco addiction, these are addictions very common in women in the rural area. In some community, the alcohol abuse is very common. And also, as far as male part is considered, if male is consuming the cigarette, tobacco, gutka, anything that it is passively inhaled by the other family members. This is also important point that should be catched for. Okay, that passive inhalation also hazardous to the other patient. If woman is not smoking, woman is not doing anything, woman is not addicted to anything, but she passively get exposed to such a great chemicals, such a hazardous chemicals, near about smoking will produce the 45 types of chemicals, and that will be hazardous for the patient, hazardous for the woman life. Second thing, hormonal supplementation or oral contraceptive pills are very commonly taken in rural area to space the child, to space the two pregnancies. But this OC pill should be used under the supervision of the medical practitioner. More than 3 years, more than 5 years, we may expose the hormonal side effect, hormonal effects, and that it may rise the incidence of cervical, uterine, and the breast cancer. So that should be spacing should be done adequately. That is my request to all the women of the country. And through this media, social media, the awareness should be conducted on the campaign. Like the very great initiative taken by Mr. Lal on this aspect of cervical cancer. Okay, in urban area, the breast cancer is very common. In rural area, cervical cancer is more common. Near about 125,000, around 1.1 lakh 25,000 to 1.5 lakh women are affected each year by cancer, and 8 women are succumb to death every minute in India. So very the disaster situation in India. Basically, the government is engaged in the war with another territory. They're looking that they're securing the line of control. They're securing the international borders of the country. But this war against cancer is very much important. This is a great internal conflict and disturbing the population. And government thinks that, still thinks that the lots of government organizations are working in the rural area doing for this good cause effectively. So to raise the immunity of the patient, that is also important. One of the important aspects in the controlling any cancer, including cervical cancer, the farmer women should have the good nutrition. They are rich in the iron, rich in the protein, rich in the minerals. Whatever the homemade dish should be available with good contents like one fruit, green vegetable, roti, dal rice. That should be provided to the woman in rural area. Most of the cases, the male-dominated society, woman is always neglected in rural area. I have seen because through the camps of through the 370 camps we reached to so those places where the vehicle cannot reach, and we tested them for the cancer, and lots of detection came positive on that basis. So woman is always neglected in male-dominated society in rural area, remote area, tribal population. So we should have focus on that aspect, and nutrition of the woman is very much important. Second thing, the poor economy in the rural area that considering the early referral to the higher center, early referral to qualified doctors are are always affected. So this should be immediately any symptom, pelvic pain, white discharge, mental disorder, pain, immediately show to the qualified doctor. That is my request to the all Indian citizens. Okay, so that early intervention can be planned and patient's life can be saved. So being the cervical cancer, another aspect of the cervical cancer is, sir, if your family has a incidence of breast cancer, colon cancer, uterine cancer in the family, if mother, grandmother suffer from any such a type of cancer or any other cancer, that means your generation is prone for the cancer. So daughter, it's a duty of daughter or daughter-in-law to look after or to do the screening, early testing for the cancer every 6 months. She should go undergo pap smear, she should undergo ultrasound, she should undergo the breast palpation, breast examination to making aware of this cancer. So such a thing should be done for the cervical cancer. Another thing, doctor, hygiene is very poor. The regular shaving of the hairs in the private parts, regular washing of the private part is very necessary to keep that part, internal part, clean, and it will be away from the infection, because the mouth of the cervix is very vulnerable to get infection. We call it as a stomach colon junction, and infection will lead to the changes in the cells, and it will lead to the cervical cancer ultimately. So this is also an important part. And whenever you are exposed to the when we are exposed to your sexual intercourse is done, then please use the barrier contraceptive like Nirod that should be used cautiously, liberally everywhere. That should be motivated. The use of the barrier contraceptive, Nirod should be motivated. That is very important part. Second thing, doctor, sir, while as far as the community part is considered, there is a government organization working already the preventive aspect, but there should be strengthening. There should be the education or the skill development of those paramedical, ASHA workers, those working at the grassroots level. That should be motivated. The same thing is done by the little work is done by the organization in Ahmednagar, Nasik, and Aurangabad district of the Maharashtra for that. Also, we devised a cancer van where cancer van reaches the community and they call the patient in the cancer van. They test it for the pap smear. They test it for the other breast palpation, breast cancer. And that is another way we are securing the 20 villages in the Ahmednagar district for this measure by the SBI Foundation, basically. So ultimately, while going, the take-home message for all Indian citizens is please do self breast examination daily. Please do every yearly, if not possible, 3 yearly, not possible, 5 yearly pap smear testing for all women. Third thing, adequate nutrition, protein. Please make yourself aware about the cervical cancer and its side effect treatment options available. Fifth thing, get vaccinated as early as possible. Please vaccinate your children as far as possible. From the as early as 9 years of age, we should vaccinate our daughter. That is our duty to vaccinate the child so that she will free from the danger of the cancer throughout her lifetime. Okay, this measure should be taken. That is my motto. And thank you so much. Great opportunity, Mr. Lal sir, Archana ji, and Dr. Puneet. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Mane, for giving your views, and Dr. Mane described all the details about the. Just mute yourself, Dr. Mane.
Yeah, sure.
Please audio mute. Yeah. So Dr. Mane has explained in details about the cervical cancer, and he is doing a great job in the rural area of the country where he's doing organizing lots of surgeries and doing awareness camps, etc. And his advice is very, very clear. Again, as Dr. Puneet Gupta has given the advice that please get yourself checked at least either yearly or 3 years or in a 5 years time, because if you will get checked and if you get vaccinated, then there will be no cervical cancer. Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite my next panelist guest, and she is Miss Archana Sharma. Miss Archana Sharma is actress, model, anchor, philanthropist, motivational speaker, peace ambassador, and crowned Woman of Substance, MWI Beauty Pageant USA, Woman of Substance modeled for Lamborghini Group Italy, apart from more than 900 print and electronic media modeling. She featured in music videos, documentaries, game shows, serials, conducted TED Talks, anchored corporate shows, theme events, etc. She is honorary Rotarian. She is trustee of Sai Dham Hospital. She is brand ambassador of SK High School. She is advisor for Desire magazine. She was applauded with more than 200 plus awards, national and international, for rendering selfless community services. She is a woman on mission to eradicate cervical cancer globally. She till date imparted education to more than 2 lakhs plus women residing in rural and urban areas. One of the 700 personality in the world to write tribute message to Nelson Mandela in tribute book House of Commons, UK, along with renowned dignitaries like President Barack Obama, British Prime Minister Tony Blair, McCartney, and many more renowned dignitaries of the world. Welcome, Ms. Archana Sharma, on our show. Viewers, I would like to make a declaration that this show, which is we are doing today, is the brainchild of Ms. Archana Sharma. She only motivated me. She asked me, why not we do it on a cervical cancer? Although initially I was having some reservation because I thought that this might not be in the interest of the general public. But when I studied and when I did research, I found that this is a very, very important topic, because the Indian women who are dying today because of cervical cancer is because of they are not aware. If the awareness is created and if the vaccination is taken on time, then we can see that no one will die because of this cancer. So thank you very much, Ms. Archana Sharma, to create awareness in me, and that's why today we are doing this program. So, Ms. Archana Sharma, you have heard what Dr. Puneet Gupta as well as what Dr. Swapnil Mane has mentioned. They both being a doctor, oncologist, gynecologist, they have given their views, very, very strong views, clear views for about the cervical cancer, their prevention and cure. Now, we would like to know, being a social worker, with a mission to create awareness, especially in the rural area, but your mission is to create awareness through globally about this cervical cancer. We would like to know your views on cervical cancer prevention and cure. Ms. Archana Sharma, please.
Good morning. Namaste. Thank you so much, Mr. Lal, for having me invited on this wonderful platform and for supporting the mission of creating awareness on cervical cancer and its prevention and cures. And both the dignitaries are well-renowned doctors who have given wonderful information about cervical cancer and the advantage and disadvantage of not taking treatment. And I think it's a wonderful way to give back to the woman, because woman is known as a creator of the universe. And I think I've started a mission which is known as Swasth Garv Swasth Bharat in 1992. And it's very important that, we talk about nurturing the womb of the woman if we're talking about a healthy nation. So menstruation, I still feel, is not a subject which is openly talked about. It's still surrounded by myths and misconceptions. And, the practice is still considered as clouded by taboos and social cultural restrictions, which we need to break down now. And we should realize that woman is a creator of the universe. And the womb is the only healer of having a healthy nation. So we need to heal the womb. As we sow a good seed for bearing good fruit, we need to nurture the womb for bearing a good nation. So as Dr. Puneetji and Dr. Swapnil Mane are doing wonderful work towards creating this cervical cancer treatments, they are giving free treatment, they're giving their free camps they're conducting, and it's not only in the urban areas but also in the rural areas, which is a need of the hour, that we need to talk about this eradication of cervical cancer. And I think it's the lack of knowledge which is still holding back this awareness camp, which are not being conducted on a wide scale and at a wider horizon globally. So I think what Dr. Mane is creating detection camp, which is very important, because we always talk about prevention is better than cure, but I feel that detection is always better than prevention. If we do not have a detection early stage, then why are we looking for prevention then? So I think what we need to do is, Mr. Lal, is that we should all join hands together and create awareness about menstrual hygiene at the root level, which is the school level, of teaching children that menstrual hygiene is very important, because it leads to a good motherhood. It leads to giving a good child birth, which is need of the hour to address this issue on a very serious note. Because I've been watching and hearing a lot about awareness about tuberculosis, about HIV, about polio. But why are we not openly coming out with a subject which is known as importance of menstrual hygiene, and why are we still considering it as a taboo? So I think the need of a scheme that need to be implemented by the government, by the authorities, by every human being on this earth is, we need to have a serious health camps organized. We need to also talk about the infection that are going to be created if you're not going to have a good menstrual hygiene. So I think that we really need to start working not only in India but globally, talking about holding seminars, holding conferences, holding camps, talking more about menstrual hygiene, and not only in the urban areas but also in the rural areas. Because when I give lectures on menstrual hygiene in urban areas, you will be shocked, Mr. Goel, that personal hygiene is not even maintained by the corporate woman today. It's basically because of lack of time, because lack of knowledge, lack of provision of good camps which are being conducted. Everybody's so busy with the stress level of their own cycle of workplace, trying to busy earn money, but they don't realize that they're losing on their health, because there are certain systems in the body which do require a health check. So I think we need to have a good, healthy lifestyle. We need to give a new generation new healthy lifestyle. Camps are very important to be conducted, and self detection camps of need of the hour, which needs to be organized by each and every firm, by each and every group of people, and that's where we are going to be able to control cervical deaths. And if you're really looking at the ratio of which is going to fall very drastically or between a boy and a girl, so if we need to prevent that, we need to have more and more camps, which are Dr. Mane is wonderfully organizing. He's coming up with free surgeries for patients who cannot afford in Saidam Hospital. And Saidam Hospital has conducted more than 4,000 plus surgeries, which is commendable for a doctor who's dedicated his life to the woman, to save her, because it's not the woman who dies, it's the whole family dies, because woman is a pillar of a family. And if she's healthy, the family is healthy. If she's happy, the family is happy. So I think we need to focus on today cervical cancer awareness, not only in detection but also in creating awareness of uh, giving a lot of knowledge to the children, because today what we lack in our country is basically giving awareness programs. We are not conducting any uh, great number of programs on awareness of cervical cancer, and we are also not having a proper water supply which holds the woman back, not having proper sanitary napkins which are not available to the underprivileged girls. So I think if we all join hands together, Mr. Lal, and we conduct more seminars with your kind efforts, and thank you so much for organizing this wonderful platform where we can voice ourselves for the voiceless women who do want to know about menstrual hygiene, who do want to know about cervical cancer, who do also want to be tested, who also want to be cured, but they don't know the roadmap. So, if we all doctors from the oncosurgeon forum can get together on a global platform and organize a conference and a global level, I'm sure we can address a lot of women, and we can create a lot of awareness, and we can also work on this mission, which is Healthy Boom, Healthy Nation, which I started in 1992. And as you mentioned, I've educated more than 2 lakh girls and women, which is very important. So I think India will be a role model for each and every country, which will be the first country that will be a cervical cancer free India. So thank you, Mr. Goel, and thank you all the lovely doctors for your wonderful guidance, for your humanitarian work. And I support my entire life to eradication of cervical cancer, and I'm always available to conduct seminars and camps and awareness lectures whenever required. So anyone can get in touch with me and with Saidam Hospital, with Dr. Mane. And I think let's unite, Mr. Goel, and let's make India a cancer-free world, if not at least a cervical cancer-free, but at least a cancer-free world to some extent. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Archana Sharma, for giving your views. And as you mentioned very clearly, that we all should unite and we must give voice to the voiceless. After all, the women, whether they are in rural area or they are not affording or they are not educated properly, if they die, it is really a shame for all of us. And for I must congratulate and salute your efforts, which you are doing tirelessly for eradicating, creating awareness so that the cancer, cervical cancer especially, can be eradicated. And this type of dedication, if we have in many of our social workers, then the time is not there far when we can proudly say that India can become. But for that, we require willpower, we require determination, which I am sure that after today's media conference, we will definitely, which will impact somewhere, and it will go long way. Thank you very much, Ms. Archana Sharma. Now I'm coming to my next round, and I would like to play one message which was sent by Honorable Mr. Justice Sudhir Kumar Saxena, is the former High Court Judge, New Delhi. I will just play the message, and then I will talk.
Cervical cancer is curable. a plan to prevent it. We know it's very common among girls from 13 to 45.
Can you hear the voice, Ms. Archana?
I had discussed a plan with the
It's not too audible, but we'll manage to hear it.
Yeah.
legal remedies, lady lawyers, and had requested them to spare 40 minutes during assembly and sensitize them about this disease and also tell them that proper vaccination in time this can be prevented. My suggestion would be that at the school level and college level, vaccination should be encouraged so that this disease can be checked. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mr. Justice Sudhir Kumar Saxena, who is the former High Court Judge, New Delhi, for giving his message. And his message is very clear that we must get the screening done and give the vaccination, which our earlier panelists have also mentioned. So one can understand how much important is the screening as well as the vaccination. Now, my question goes to Dr. Puneet Gupta. Are you there? Dr. Gupta? Dr. Puneet Gupta, are you there? No, I think Dr. Puneet Gupta, we can't see you. Please switch on your, Dr.
Yeah.
Puneet Gupta, there's a question, not one question, rather 3-4 questions clubbed, sent by Miss Hemlata. She is the former airport manager, Chennai. And her questions are, can you explain the warning signs of cervical cancer? Then next question is, what are the surgical procedures and the risk factors? Then the third, can you kindly explain the possible side effects of the treatment? And the fourth and the last one is, how can we prevent cervical cancer? These questions have been sent by Ms. Hemlata, former airport manager, Chennai. Dr. Puneet Gupta, please.
Okay. Thank you very much for the great questions. I think most important, foremost, the first thing first, that you wish to know that what is the, basically we symptomatology. We have already discussed in the program that initially there are maybe, spotting, then frank bleeding, then pain during intercourse. But most important message I want to give to my audience and through you, through your question, please do not learn and do not wait for symptoms. Don't say, because it gives you a bad start, you think, no, I don't have any symptom, so I don't need to go to see the doctor. Oh, no, I don't have symptom, so I don't need to have the pap smear. Oh, I don't have symptoms, so I don't have to go for HPV. So I will say it is useless to know the symptomatology. Please don't know it. Basic, most important message I want to give you, rather than understanding and knowing symptomatology, is do not know it, and without knowing it, go for the testing. Go for once a year, once a 3 years or 5 years, depending upon your age, and start doing pap smear after 20 years of age till 70 years of age, either once in a lifetime or every 5 years, once every 5 years or every 3 years. So I mean to say, or initially every 3 years, then 5 years. So most important is, please don't get wrong impression that by knowing you are asymptomatic, so you don't have to do the testing. Number one. Number two is you asked about the surgical things. Surgical things, there are very, very many procedures. The good way thing is basically is you have to understand surgical procedures for ladies who want to retain their cervix and they want to get pregnant. For them, the techniques are different basically. And the second type of surgeries are there where the ladies, family is complete. We do not want the cervix, the womb's, mother's womb, mouth there, and we can sacrifice the cervix. So you can say surgeries are of two types, where we can sacrifice the cervix, and the other one, the second type, where we do not want, because the girl or the young lady, she still has not completed family, and she needs that cervix UTI. So that was the second thing. Third, complications are basically, nowadays surgical techniques have evolved, and there are very, very, why we say, minimal invasive surgeries like, ablation by cryoablation, or what we say by using the cold temperature or using the thermal injury. So we can either cold injury or thermal injury or the chemical injury. We can do the minimal surgeries also, and if required, we do the conization and other kind of surgeries. So very, very safe surgeries are there. So in this and what was the last question?
Last is the how can we prevent cervical cancer?
Yeah, that's a big question. And because it is 100%, one message, it is 100% preventable. Second, it is not only, I will say, that you just get the vaccination and you just get the what you call the pap smear and HPV examination done. But very important as the doctors and the other our panel members have highlighted, it even counts whether you are getting regular health checkups or not, whether you are using smoking tobacco or not. You are getting things, but you are smoking tobacco heavily. So again, you are present. All these things will go off. So what is your tobacco consumption? What is your hygiene? Whether you are using, what is your water supply? What is your infrastructure? How educated you are? How many times you are going for health checkup? And whether really personal hygiene, the use of pads, and the marriageable age, the multiple partner, the sexual habits, and above all the sex, as I told you, the vaccination and the HPV screening. So this is very, very important. All these things, not only I will talk only of HPV virus and injection, but whole of the responsibility lies with the other things also, especially the tobacco, personal hygiene, personal sexual practices, and so on and so forth.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Gupta. I will come back to you again. Now my question goes to Dr. Sapnil Mane. Dr. Sapnil Mane, there is a question from Miss Radhika Pai. This is a question from Miss Radhika.
Yes, welcome.
Yes, Miss Radhika Pai. She is an ex-banker. Dr. Gupta, please mute yourself. Audio mute, please. Dr. Gupta. Yes, thank you. The Miss Radhika Pai is an ex-banker, active educationist, social worker, and now head of Vidya Shilp Community Trust, Bangalore. She is a Reiki and crystal healer. And her question is, how often should a senior citizen get test done? So the question has come from Ms. Radhika Pai, who is an ex-banker, active educationist, social worker, and now head of the Vidya Shilp Community Trust, Bangalore, as well as she is a Reiki and crystal healer. And her question is, how often should a senior citizen get test done? Dr. Sapnil Mane, please.
For cervical cancer, na, sir?
So, yeah, yes, please.
The 3 yearly or 5 yearly, we can do as per the need, as per the...
For the senior citizens, she's asked.
As such, what happens, the protocol is, sir, 3 years after marriage, if the tests are normal, then we can go for the every 3 year or 5 year. The simple thing, every 5 year or 3 year can be done as per her convenience and comfort. That's all.
No, but as you have already mentioned about that up to 70 years. Now, is senior citizens, although in India it's up 60 plus. So how often, according to you, after 60 or after 65 or after 70, the senior citizen should go for this test or not?
Should be done 100%. If not
even
done,
even after 70 years of age?
Yeah, should be done. At least one pap smear testing every 5 year, every 3 years is mandated as per the comfort and convenience of the patient. Yeah.
Okay. So there is no upper limit as far as the cervical cancer is concerned.
No upper limit.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Sapnil Mane. I will come back to you again. Now, before I will go to Ms. Asna Sharma, there is a opinion sent by Mr. Deepen Shah. He is an Asian and Indian ambassador for organ and tissue donation awareness of NJ Sharing Network, New Jersey, USA. And he says HPV cervical cancer worldwide, 550,000 cases, 260,000 die. India, 15 in 1 lakh cases, second most cancer in cervical and occur in rural and most affected lack of facilities to cure, fourth leading cancer in worldwide. African countries has highest rate. Causes, according to Mr. Deepen Shah, is weakened immune system, smoking, early sex and multiple sex partners, HIV, gonorrhea, syphilis, increased chances HPV cases, prevention, awareness in women and in families plus at root level, in education system, routine cancer screening, vaccination, treatment, advanced technology available, and to apply plus radiation, chemo, proton therapy, etc. So my question to Ms. Archana Sharma is, do you agree what Mr. Deepen Shah, Asian Indian Ambassador for Organ and Tissue Donation Awareness of NJ Sharing Network, New Jersey, USA, has mentioned about all the details about the worldwide and in India, the cases, and about the creatiness of creating the awareness? Do you agree with this, Ms. Archana Sharma?
First of all, I like to thank him for being aware about this issue of cervical cancer, which is very important that every individual on this planet gets aware about the disease. And I think I agree with him that awareness is need of the hour, and it's the only awareness that can help in preventing of cervical cancer. So I think let's unite on this platform and create awareness globally. And he can also be a part of it by creating awareness in his country. And together, we as one human family can work towards eradicating cervical cancer and giving back to women who's known as the Janani of the universe.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Archana Sharma. Now, Dr. Puneet Gupta. Yes, Dr. Sharma, Mane, you want to add something? You are saying something? No. Okay. Yeah, tell me. Tell us. Dr. Gupta, Mane, you have muted. You are saying something.
Yeah, the awareness and the same thing that Archana ji delivered.
Okay. Thank you.
So
now, Dr. Puneet Gupta, there is a opinion again from Professor Dr. R.K. Arya. He is the Professor of International Economics at Manav Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies, Faridabad. And he says, incidence of cervical and breast cancer among women in a specific age group is very high. Still, there is no effort to make it national health program. While women from rich families, due to their awareness for screening regularly, but women from poor families who lack health education are prone to the risk of developing cervical cancer. Multiple partners, use of oral contraceptives, and poor hygiene are the associated causes. I think this is the views of Professor Arya. I think the government should first cover the screening. Yeah, government should first come. I think government should first cover the screening in national health programs. Secondly, give trust to women, education, entrepreneurship, and employment. It is sheer government columnist that poor women are filing to unwanted cancer. Yeah, I think Dr. Dilip Singhvi has also joined us from Muscat.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please mute Dr. Singhvi. I am just coming to you. Just mute yourself or audio mute. Audio mute, please. Dr. Singhvi, audio mute, please. Audio mute. Yes. You can just audio mute yourself, Dr. Singhvi. Just audio mute. Yes, Dr. Gupta, my question to you is, do you agree with Professor Dr. R.K. Arya's views?
Yes, sir. In this, Mr. Lal, there is a very important, I think I must salute him for raising this question. And because only I will say कि एक देश भगत ही इस प्रकार का ये स्टेटमेंट के लिए वरीड रह सकता है. And I think he's a true Smartian and a beneficiary of the nation. And his concern for the Indian women is great. And I think he has very boldly, cleanly, इन्होंने साफ साहस करके ये चीज स्टेटमेंट दी है कि अब हमें सख्त जरूरत है, क्योंकि जिसमें हम हर एक स्टेट के लेवल, पहले तो एक नेशनल बॉडी बनाए, फिर एक स्टेट बॉडी बनाए, और हर एक स्टेट के लेवल पर गप्पे नहीं मारे, लेकिन हम उसका जो है 3 महीने तक पहले हम डिफरेंट वैन्स को, हमने ये प्रोग्राम स्टेट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र का मेरे को एक्सपीरियंस है, मैं ऐसे नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि जस्ट बोलने के लिए, हमने मेघालय में हमने पूरे स्टेट ऑफ मेघालय में, क्योंकि लकीली उस समय जो डॉक्टर वहां के एक ही हिमसेल्फ वाज एमबीबीएस डॉक्टर एंड डॉक्टर सांगमा एंड ही वाज द डिप्टी सीएम, उन्होंने हमारे को बुलाया, रोको कैंसर को बुलाया है, और मेडिकल एडवाइजर रोको कैंसर की हैसियत से हमने वहां 2 बसेस रखी जो मोबाइल यूनिट थी, पूरी स्टेट में हमने वो एक बस को लेफ्ट मतलब ईस्ट ऑफ द मेघालय में भेजा, एक को वेस्ट टेरेन में भेजा, एंड यू नो मेघालय इज ए वेरी डिफिकल्ट टेरेन, और उसमें हमने पहले 3 महीने हम सिर्फ अलग वैन ले जाकर हम वहां पहले एजुकेशन करते थे, लोगों को प्री रजिस्टर करते हैं। मैं इसका आपको एक एसओपी भी बता देता हूं कि इसमें पहले प्री रजिस्टर करें और सिर्फ एजुकेशन करें 3 महीने तक। ये नहीं होगा कि एक दिन ले जाकर आप बस खड़ी कर दें और लोगों को बोलो आ जाओ कैंसर सर्विक्स स्क्रीनिंग कर रहे हैं, वो आपकी बस को तोड़ देंगे, बिकॉज दे डू नॉट नो व्हाट इज कैंसर सर्विक्स। वो बोलेंगे ये कैंसर फैलाने आ गए हमारे गांव में, वो बस को तोड़ देंगे आपकी। तो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आप पहले एजुकेट करें और एजुकेट 3 महीने के लिए एजुकेशन करें, प्री रजिस्टर करें और ये बता दें कि उस दिन जब बस आएगी जो लोग प्री रजिस्टर्ड है सिर्फ वही बस के अंदर जा सकते हैं। और हमारे पास फुल टाइम एम्प्लॉइज होने चाहिए, हमारे पास स्टेट लेवल पे नेशनल लेवल पे जो बॉडी बने। देखिए कैंसर सर्विक्स जैसे डॉक्टर मनी ने बड़ा अच्छा बोला कि ये 100% प्रिवेंटेबल है, हमको इसमें फुल टाइम लोग रखें और सिर्फ कैंसर सर्विक्स का ही हम करें, हम कंफ्यूज ना करें ब्रेस्ट को और इसको। Cervix should be our motto. Full-time employees should be there, and it should be full-time business, full-time duty, and all these vaccination and HPV testing should happen by liquid pap method.
Okay, thank you very much.
After 70 years, do not screen after 70 years, and do not screen before 20 years because on population basis it is not required. But 1-to-1, if there is a high risk, then yes, you can do before 20 also and after this thing also.
Okay,
depending on case.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gupta. Now I would like to invite my next panelist guest, and he's Dr. Dilip Singhvi. Dr. Dilip Singhvi is MBBS, MRCP, RCP, UK, MD.
मेरा इंटरव्यू चल रहा था असल में.
Yeah, please, Dr. Gupta, please mute yourself. Dr. Puneet Gupta, please mute. Dr. Puneet Gupta, please mute yourself. Requesting you to mute yourself audio. Yes, thank you. Dr. Dilip Singhvi is MBBS, MRCP, RCP, UK, MD, DIP, Type 2 DM, Boston School of Medicine, USA. He is the specialist of internal medicine and diabetes. He is the medical director of Apollo Hospital, Muscat. He is the recipient of Man of Excellence Award in 2017 for outstanding achievements in health and social services. He is the recipient of Jail of Rajasthan Award in 2012. He has published several research papers in national and international journals. He is one of the frontline COVID workers. Welcome, Dr. Dilip Singhvi, on our show. Dr. Dilip Singhvi, our doctors, Dr. Puneet Gupta, Dr. Swapnil Mane, as well as Ms. Archana Sharma has given their views, very clear views about the prevention, about the testing, about the screening, and how it can be prevented. You are working in a other country that is Muscat, but you belongs to India. You have seen the Indian condition very closely, and you are seeing the condition outside India also. We would like to know your views on cervical cancer prevention and cure. Dr. Dilip Singhvi, please.
Good morning to everyone. Good morning, Mr. Lal, and good morning to all the viewers and my fellow panelists. Sorry for the technical glitch. I could, log on late, but better than not coming. So finally, I figured out. I don't know, something happened. So thanks a lot, Mr. Lal, once again giving me this opportunity on yet another very important topic, which is cervical cancer. Now, yes, exactly as you have said, the situation is more or less the same here also, what is there in India. Although the only thing, the benefit we have is that volume wise, the population is very less. India is a huge population, so the volume of cases will be definitely much higher there, and therefore a lot of screening, a lot of diagnosis efforts in diagnosis is required. And as we all know that WHO has already put a goal on this, that they want to eradicate this cervical cancer by 2030. So we have to we have to implement ways to screen the population. We have to put ways to diagnose it as quickly as possible, preferably before the actual cancer starts, which we call the pre-stage. And if we can pick up there, definitely it will help the not only the patients from the patient point of view, but it will also help us reduce the medical burden, because the sooner we pick up the cancer, the easier it is to treat. And the results are much better as compared to if we pick up in a later stage, in an advanced stage, say stage 3 or stage 4. There the options become very much limited. So if we can pick it up in a pre-stage or on a very early stage 1, definitely we'll get good results. as we all know, and this is for the knowledge of my our audience, that cervical cancer is a slow growing tumor. So normally what happens, it takes minimum from 10 to 20 years to actually, spread. That's the benefit which we as doctors can take, and that is the importance of the screening. That if we can screen our population, say starting from normal, the universal criteria is around 30 years of age, and this cancer, as we know, is because of a human papilloma virus. Again, it's the root cause is a viral virus here again. And since the world is much aware of viral diseases now, I think everybody has a lot of information on viral diseases. This again, cancer is triggered by a virus, which is called HPV, human papilloma virus. There are two strains, 16 and 18, which are the most notorious and are responsible for almost 70% of the cases. So if we can educate our masses, educate our population, society, and do a screening, say from the age of 30, because usually this virus starts, usually is transmitted by when the sexual activity or intercourse starts. So in some population, it may, usually the intercourse starts at an earlier age. In some way, because of cultural diversity and cultural differences, it may start late. But usually below 17 or 20 years of age, it's not required, because the intercourse usually starts in that age in some countries. So we can probably do it in, say, anywhere between second or third decade. Of course, if a person has a risk factor, a family history, or a deficient immune system, we can start earlier. So screening is very important as far as identification is controlled, identification of the disease is concerned. And of course, if we pick up the disease early, we will be in a much better position to treat it. And this eventually will enable us to achieve the WHO target of eradication by 2030. And because this, as I said, this tumor gives us time, lot of time to treat it. So the earlier and we pick up, the better it is.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Dilip Singhvi. I can understand that you have joined. Lots of technical glitch was there, but still you have joined and you have given your views, very clear views. So, but before, because I have already asked the questions, now my straight question to you is, do you think the role of government is very important for eradication of cervical cancer? Because as our all the panelists and even you say about the educating them, about creating awareness, it is not possible for one NGO or 100 NGOs or even 1,000 NGOs, although like Ms. Archana Sharma is doing day and night, dedicating her life only for this. But I, as being the chairman of Organ Donation India Foundation, I understand that's not possible without active participation from the government of the day. Do you think the government, the central government and the state government should come forward, become more proactive? Then only we can achieve the target of 2030. Otherwise, will be only on the papers, and the conditions in the rural area, especially in India, is very bad. What you say about this, Dr. Dilip Singh?
I definitely agree with you. See, this is a team play. It cannot be achieved by one person, one doctor, one NGO, or you see even 100 NGOs. So the biggest team of the country, of any country, is the government. They have the biggest infrastructure across the country, so they can mobilize, they can advise, they can put resources, for screening. And nobody else apart from the government can do it on a pan country scale, whether it is say Oman or say it is India, because across the country health centers are maintained by the government. Even the remote villages which you are talking, rural India, what we have is primary health centers which are all manned by the government. So the government has to be the focus. They are the pivot. The whole system of any disease, or in cervical cancer in particular, has to run on the government machinery. They are the pivot. They can implement, they can enforce, they can ensure that one more good important point is that there is a vaccine available for this disease, which is the biggest prevention. So if we can educate our masses and give them this vaccine, we can provide them with this vaccine. And now I think after the COVID pandemic, everybody knows what is the importance of vaccine. And this disease is a preventable disease now. It is a preventable, mind you, because we have a vaccine which covers almost 90% of the cases. 90% of cervical cancer can be avoided because of one simple vaccine dose. So if we educate our our female patients, our lady population of the society, that young girls 19 to 15 or 14 who are not yet introduced to the intercourse or are not taking any sexual activity, if we vaccinate them, then this disease can be prevented, and it will be very easy to achieve our 2030 goal of 97, 90, 70, 90, which the WHO is targeting, that 90% of the cancer should be controlled, and by 2030 we should eradicate this disease, less than 4 per 1 lakh ladies patients. So that goal, I believe all of us as individual doctors, as institutes, as NGO, we are there in it, but we are part of the team, we are not the whole team. So I fully agree, government has to play a pivotal role in this, and if they play, I don't think, जैसे अपन कहते हैं Delhi दूर नहीं है, we can achieve Delhi.
Okay.
So we can achieve our target and goal. If they come forward, I don't think all our doctors will put all efforts to eradicate this disease. I will say it's a preventable disease if we can vaccinate our girls.
Okay.
And
One
even
message.
boys. Even one more important point I will highlight, that boys can also get it.
Okay.
So the boys are also not protected. They may get the virus. So we are protecting the whole society by protecting our girls.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Dilip Singh. Before you leave, just one message you want to give to the our population. What message you want to give? Very short message.
Well, we just discussed that the government has to do their bit, but as part of the society, I would request all our ladies, the female population, that please increase your awareness on this cancer. It's a preventable disease. Please vaccinate your daughters in the age group of 9 to 14 or 15, and this will enable all of us to prevent this cancer.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, Dr. Puneet Gupta, one message would like to give to the public at large. Dr. Puneet Gupta, one message, one small message you would like to give. Yeah.
Yeah, the most important message I will like to give, that it is the time, because 2030 is going to be the cancer #1 disease all around the globe. Until and unless we act now, India will be back in this race, and we will not be able to decrease the cancer incidence, and other cancer will also multiply. So it is very, very important. The most common cancer in our rural females, we must strike it off, and it is very easy to do. And this is the time where the government must make the vaccination free, HPV vaccination free, #1. #2, once in a lifetime, HPV and pap smear testing by liquid pap smear method, which is not very costly. We must make a target that each and every Indian lady should get this test at least once in a lifetime, or at least 2 times in a lifetime.
Okay.
And it must happen at state level and country level.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Gupta.
And with full-time people, full-paid people.
Okay, thank you very much. Dr. Mane, your one message, please.
Yeah, thank you so much. My take-up message will be, do pap smear testing yearly, have adequate nutrition, self-awareness about the cancer, keep a hygiene of private parts, and make other aware about the cancer. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Ms. Archana Sharma, your message to the public at large.
I would thank everybody on the panelists who have taken this initiative of creating an awareness and working towards eradicating a cervical cancer. So I would say, let us not make it a one-time goal. Let us make it a sustainable goal, and let us unite and make a cervical cancer-free world. So let's unite together and let's achieve our goal, which we target on 2030. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Archana Sharma. So, viewers, today you have seen how important is the cervical cancer prevention is in India, especially in India when we talk about India, because our 70% population stays in the villages, rural area, and we are 50% of the population are of women. Are they not human beings? Why we are not thinking about them? Forget about the government, forget about anyone else. If we ourselves think, if we love our family, if we love our daughter or sister or mother, we should see to it that they must be consulted and they must be screened timely as advised by all our expert panelists. Then only we can achieve the target which has been set by United Nations for 2013. Otherwise, as Dr. Puneet Gupta mentioned, that this will be a very, very big issue and it will increase like anything if we will not do. We hats off, a salute to Ms. Archana Sharma, Dr. Mane and Dr. Singhvi as well as Dr. Gupta for doing their work sincerely, but they cannot, like in Hindi, as Dr. Singhvi said, there is akela chana cannot bhar nahi phod sakta. Similarly, we all have to be united. Thank you very much. And today's program has been brought to you by V4 News, Karu News, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News Gaon se Samvad Sarokar News, Bharat Post News, Gyan, as well as on by Organ Donation India Foundation. And our endeavor to bring to you everyday new thing. And tomorrow is a very, very important day. Tomorrow, world is celebrating World Kindness Day. So our program of media conference with Lal Goyal at 10:30 a.m. is on World Kindness Day, and our panelists are Mr. D. Shivanandan, IPS retired, former Director General of Police, Maharashtra, Mumbai. We have Professor Dr. Naveen Gupta, Director, Institute of Management and Computer Science, HIMCS, Sharda Group of Institutions, Mathura. We have Mr. Dinesh Sheikh, Director, Paswan-e-Adab Foundation, Mumbai. Ms. Sunena Singh, CEO, Organ India, New Delhi, and Advocate Meghna Adhikari, Animal Rights Supporter, New Delhi. Tomorrow, they all will be telling the kindness which they have done through their NGO for the society at large. So thank you very much, Dr. Puneet Gupta. Thank you very much, Dr. Dilip Singhvi. Thank you very much, Dr. Swapnil Mane. And thank you very much, Ms. Archana Sharma, for giving very, very enlightening talks about the cervical cancer prevention and cure. And thank you all the viewers for sending their views and the questions. And I request all the viewers to create this awareness to all their in their family, their mother, sister, daughters, daughter-in-laws, and see to it that even your neighbors will also come to know about this cervical cancer, so that we can proudly say that India can become Vishwa Guru in cervical cancer eradication if we all become